He'll be back.
Frank Anderson, F-R-A-N-K-A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N.
And just look at me like cameras right there.
Right.
What are you doing out here tonight?
Well, we're here to urge Governor Kane to issue an executive order restoring rights to convicted felons in Virginia who've served their sentences.
Why?
Well, because Virginia and Kentucky are the only two states in America that permanently disenfranchise felons for life, and only the governor can overturn the decision of whether he gets voting rights back. So, we think that Virginia is really behind the times, and Tim Kaine has a great opportunity to make history here, by issuing this executive order, just like Charlie Crist of Florida did.
Was there a reason that you got all these folks together?
Well, we've tried all sorts of other ways to get the governor to take action. We speak into his office. We've submitted letters. Various organizations, the NAACP, the ACLU, and lots of us have been trying to talk to the governor through conventional means. But right now, it's sort of almost too late. We have 8 or 9 days remaining while Tim Kaine is in office, and we want him to take action right away.
How does this affect you personally?
Well, I myself was convicted of a felony in 1999. I served my time. I was released in 2000. I'm off of parole. Haven't had any criminal offenses since that time. But I applied to get my voting rights back, and I was denied by Governor Kane. And a year later, which was about a month ago, I was told that the reason was that I have traffic tickets. And I was really shocked to hear about this because it was a secret policy of the governor's office. Nobody ever said that you can be denied your voting rights because you have traffic tickets.
And what do you hope? What's the exact message that you hope Kane gets? I mean, is this something you want him to do before
before he leaves office?
Yeah, before he leaves office?
Yes, I do. I think it's really important that he takes care of this right away. I mean, if he wants to think about his legacy and the fact that there's 300,000 Virginia citizens who are disenfranchised right now and cannot vote because they're ex-felons, and even some of us who apply don't get our rights back. So, I think it's just really unfair, and this has been part of the Virginia Constitution since 1902, when they instituted the poll tax and literacy tests to get your voting rights back. So I just think that, we don't want to be on the wrong side of history here, and Governor Kane has a great opportunity to take action.
So you don't think you'll have a very good chance with McDonald?
Well, McDonald's already stated that he wants to make it even more restrictive. He wants there to be requirements for having jobs and being active in the community, which some people may agree with, but I personally don't think that you should be held to such a standard after you've already served your time and after you're done, completed your sentence, paid your fines and everything. You should be admitted back into society if you really want to be a real citizen again. So, and I feel like a second-class citizen since I'm not allowed to vote. I'll certainly talk to the McDonald administration if Kane doesn't take action. We'll take the next step. But for now, I think we'll get a chance to do.
What can people do that are watching this do to help?
Well, they can call Governor Kane's office. Does anybody have the phone number?
We'll figure it out.
Okay, well, yeah, Governor Kane, call his office. Don't email, because they're not checking emails anymore. Just make a phone call. Ask him to restore rights for Virginians who have completed their sentences. And hopefully get him to issue this executive order. Right. We know that he has the authority to do this.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look at that mic. All right,
thanks.
Y'all do y'all's thing, and I'll just be over here videoed.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Frank Anderson. I'm a convicted felon here in Virginia. And I cannot vote in Virginia because my rights were denied by Governor Kane. This just sort of underscores the whole reason why we're here tonight. We want Governor Kane to issue an executive order restoring rights to all convicted felons in Virginia who have served their sentences. We think that after you've done your time, you should be a regular citizen again. You should be allowed to vote like 48 other states do. They restore rights to convicted felons after they have completed their sentences. So only Kentucky and Virginia are this backwards. We know it's part of the Jim Crow era that they tried to keep the black vote down because State Senator Carter Glass, when they instituted this law in the Constitution, stated that this would keep the well, he used a word I don't want to repeat. But anyway, we know that the intention of this law was to suppress the vote. And so this is just part of our past we need to get rid of. And Tim Kaine has a real opportunity to change this. He's able to, just by a stroke of a pen, issue an executive order, just like Governor Crist of Florida did, restoring rights to all current ex-felons who have served their sentences and want nothing more than to just be a regular citizen and take part in society. We also know that people who have voting rights who are ex-felons are much less likely to reoffend. So it's a practical measure as well. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. And does anybody else like to speak? Because
Burke Town.
all right, Burke Towns.
And I'm an ex-offender also. I had my rights restored back in 2006, and I'm here to put a face on the process, because you know I in 2006 I filled out the paperwork and I sent it off to the Capitol here to have my rights restored, and they sent me back because see, in the process you have to go through all of these. You have to go through the courthouse and get your records and all, you know, all these things. And that's what I'm saying. The process itself is so tedious, and it's discouraging itself. So that's that's even another reason why I think our Governor Kane should do this, because the fact is that even the process that's in place is so cumbersome. It gives you a false image that that's something gonna happen, but it really don't happen. And I just wanted to give you my experience, on that issue. 2006, I had my rights restored, and I said before, I passed my paperwork on the Capitol here. They sent it back to me, said I sent them the wrong thing. Now, here I am, an ex-offender, don't know a lot about court papers. I went down and talked to them and said, I need my paperwork to get my rights restored. And they themselves did not know what I needed. So in an extent, I sent my paperwork off with something that I didn't need. And instead it came back, and I went there and told them again, and they gave me what I need. So that's the issue here, is that this whole process it's so open to somebody else's interpretation that it just don't work. The process does not work. Only way it worked for me because I was diligent. I stayed on it. But see, what I understand about voting is that it's not only that you are a person that's not a person anymore, but see, once you get your rights to vote back, you become a person that's out of jail. Because see, in actuality, you are still locked up on the street when you're not a voter. You're still like you are still in an institution. You have no rights. You're just walking around a nobody. And that voting right, it gives you the right to what? To get into the process. It gives you a right to be a part of the process. It gives you a right to learn the process and become a productive citizen. Because what I understand about me, I was talking about my personal experience. In my mind, I was still a nobody. But when I got my rights restored to vote, and I could talk to politicians, I could talk to people that was part of the process, could teach me how to be a part of the process, that gave me a lot more pride, a lot more hope. And that's why Governor Kane should restore all felons' rights, because if you have some confidence in the law system, you should do it. Thank you.
I'm J. Ray to advise. I'm the president of the Virginia State Conference of NAACP.
All right.
I'm not a felon, but as the president, that was on my agenda as one of the first things that I've been fighting for. As the president of the NAACP, we had the opportunity to meet with Governor Kane at least 4 times this year. And each time we put that on his plate. And they squirmed and squirmed and squirmed and tried to find reasons why we should not do this. It is ironic that we go to other countries and fight for them to have democracy, and we are denying it right here on our own shores.
All right.
There's something wrong with that picture, and somebody needs to look at that. We're over in other countries, not well, we know the terrorists. We understand that, but we're over there trying to make them have the right to vote and democracy and all of that. And right here in our own backyard, we are denying the person the opportunity to do that. My research shows that the governor, it is vested in the governor by the Constitution of Virginia and by the Code of Virginia.
Right.
He has the discretionary power to grant that right.
You should do it.
And they keep saying, well, Virginia doesn't have a central this, and we don't have a central way of knowing whether they have completed that or not. Well, maybe we need to get on them to make Virginia have a central system where they can go to it.
Right.
They are shacking us. We need to keep it in their face. And as the state president, every time I met with Governor Kane, we brought this topic up. And the very last time, they were saying that, you know, we want to do this, but our hands are